So, lads, in a blow to the Iowa Hawkeyes, Taylor McCabe, who has been a very solid player for them for a few years. Like, if I'm going to be honest, do I think Taylor McCabe is this absolutely irreplaceable player? No, but it's just a bad way for her to go out. Like, I don't know how much an effect it's going to have on the Iowa team, but it's such a bad way to go, especially for somebody who is in her senior season, averaging 8 points a game. And again, if you're looking at other years, she was a player that was a bit part player in the two championship game runs, and in the end became a starter last year where she had some huge games, and this year had cemented herself as a starter in her senior season. And look, McCabe was absolutely going to be a very good, very key piece to this team if they were going to make a run. Because I think everyone's kind of in agreement. Like, if you dodge UConn, anything's possible. I don't think this team has much of a chance against South Carolina. But if you, like, I think this team could upset UCLA. I think this team could upset like Oklahoma. I think they could upset pretty much anyone. Pretty much anyone other than South Carolina and UConn. So, like, realistically, you could go and, like, they could have made the Final Four. Maybe Elite Eight is probably the ceiling. And it gets significantly more difficult without Taylor McCabe. And it is a pity, like a torn ACL. I know the way Jan Jensen was talking about it yesterday, it kind of seemed like that's what it was, which is a pity, which really is a pity, because she was going to have hopefully a big college season. Not only that, like, obviously, like, best wishes to her sister as well, who right after that dislocated her ankle on the same night. Like, not an ideal night at all. And to be honest, like, she'll bounce back stronger. She's young. I don't know what Taylor McCabe's I don't know what her plans are, but, like, if her plan was to go play pro, this is the worst thing. This is the worst time for it. Like it was it really was just is the worst time, because, like, she's not going to be ready for overseas seasons. And you got to work your way up pro. Like, I don't think people realize, again, when it comes to pro, a lot of people be like, oh yeah, you know, she can go overseas. Like, but unless you are a star at a top EuroLeague team, not even as a EuroLeague team, unless you are the main American at a EuroLeague team, like, averaging 8 points per game for Iowa is, like, I'll say it, you're going to, like, second tier France. You might go to a non-European team in Greece. Like, I've seen I've seen players literally go and come from Iowa. I think I've seen players come from Iowa State, like, starters, playing big minutes, and people would have been saying, oh yeah, you know, she might go and make the WNBA, and end up in Ireland. Like, it happens. It really, really happens. Like, there's players that have been some of the lead. I think one of the leading scorers all time at Yale ended up coming to Ireland out of college. Like, when it comes to women's basketball, unless you are a WNBA or borderline WNBA level player, because all the best WNBA players, well, not all the best ones, a lot of WNBA players going to Europe, it's really, really tricky to make good money. Like, I don't know if she's going to be at the level to go to a Australia or something, but it's going to be really tough coming off this knee injury. But I'm confident if she does want to go play pro in her basketball career, she absolutely has the ability. Like, you don't get to where she's gotten to in the sport without having that ability to be a pro player, because she's absolutely a pro. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is a pro. It's just this timing of this injury makes it significantly more difficult. And I wish I could be much more upbeat about this, but it's tough, and the timing is not even not ideal. The timing is absolutely horrendous for this, like in terms of compared to what you would kind of hope would be happening, and where I think she would have probably hoped to have been in her career. It's rough. Look, if at the end of the day her goal isn't to go play pro, she just missed out on the last season, which is awful in its own right. Like, especially for like in sports in America. In a lot of sports in America, when you graduate college, that's it. That's the last time you really played a sport. And a lot of the time, people's senior seasons are them going out on the highest of highs because they know they're done afterwards. So, yeah, it is awful. But obviously, like, best wishes to her. She'll get through it. And obviously mentally it can be a tough one to it's probably a tougher thing mentally. If she's done with basketball, it becomes a much tougher thing mentally and physically. Look, I think she'll be fine. I realistically if to get to where she got to in basketball, and this is just a lot of the case when it comes to student athletes, like if they apply themselves as much in the sport as they do into whatever job or whatever field they're working in, they're going to be super successful. Like, it's a mentality, and a lot of things with being successful in sports, or definitely as successful as she was in sports, correlates to stuff in life. So, look, at the end of the day, I think she'll be okay. I hope she'll be okay. But it is kind of shit. It's a shit one for Iowa. It's a really shit one for her, and hopefully her sister's okay as well. But yeah, that is that's pretty much it. Like, it's a pity. It really is a pity because, look, Iowa were absolutely on track to maybe do something special. Like, they were easily one of the best, the most like dangerous teams in the nation, just because of how consistently they play, the way they play, everything about it. But I mean, it's a lot tougher. The one positive is you have Taylor Stremlo. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, you have Addy Deal. Yeah, you start Addy Deal. But if you have Stremlo on the bench, you can play Addy Deal more minutes. And look, it gives the freshman a chance to step up. And I do think Addy Deal is going to be extremely, extremely important. And if Iowa are to make an Elite Eight, which I think, I said it last year, I said their ceiling was Sweet 16. The expectation should be around a 32. If they make the Elite Eight, it's an absolutely unbelievably, like, unforeseen, like, it was so good. And they had to beat UConn to make the Elite Eight. But I kind of wrote that off as soon as it was that was said. But for me anyway, I think this year it's the opposite. This year I think Elite Eight's a good season. Sweet 16 should be the expectation. And they could, if everything goes right, could scrape to the Final Four. And that's obviously become a lot harder now.